know that we're celebrating them, but regardless. Death by Dominoes by William Van Poyck. I'm Eric Boyd. When the assassins come, they kill everyone. That is what you must understand. Death is coming. It's at the door. Though uttered weeks earlier on a different cell block, I still recall leaning forward in concentration, struggling to hear the words, striving to discern the meaning, if any, conveyed by Wanamaker's frog-like voice. The old man didn't speak his words so much as he breathed them out in a guttural rasp, as weak as a politician's promise, like a man talking reluctantly through a mouthful of marbles. Weeks later, perched on an overturned mop bucket wedged in the open doorway of my single-man cell, Wanamaker's enigmatic words were still gnawing along the margins of my mind, those whispered words. How was I to know they'd be so prescient? Settling back on my overturned mop bucket, my thoughts returned to the remaining 4 days separating me from freedom. I resumed the fantasy I'd been mentally playing out before being interrupted, visualizing a long dream about a South Florida fishing trip, south of Chocoloxy, past the Rod and Gun Club in Everglades City, deep into the swaying expanse of emerald sawgrass prairies. I pictured the soft morning light blushing faint pink above my aluminum skiff as I meandered down a winding, tannin-stained creek, the mist-shrouded banks flanked by lullaby pines, stands of silvery cypress, and where the creek merged with the bay, tangled thickets of red mangrove with their webs of gnarly roots and saw-crusted leaves. Along the banks I saw the whirligig beetles ruffling the creek's velvet surface and glistening black and red salamanders nosing through the mud. There were emerald leopard frogs jack-kicking through the mossy duckweed, their Crayola yellow spots flashing like semaphores. I saw the egret, the white ibis, and the green heron patrolling the shallows, and the roseate spoonbills languidly lifting up from the water like ethereal apparitions, rising puffs of strawberry and cream. Up in the trees I saw the drab anaginnas, claws tightly gripping the swaying branches, patiently drying their feathers, their wings opened up like Dracula's cape. I heard the buzz of summer's insects and the screech of the rare Everglades sail kite skimming above the swamp, an elegant willowy winged tuxedo black bird boasting an ivory patch above the tail. I saw the drifting alligators, the basking turtles, and the toothy gar hovering in tepid waters, and I smelled the rich, decaying muck permeating the sultry air. And out past the flats of the shallow bay, its aquamarine water glittering like crushed glass, stretching off toward the Keys, I saw the Gulf studded with sailboats, their pastel sails blooming like orchids in the cobalt blue sea. I stood tensely, while every thought in my mind seemed to merge, crystallize, and then shatter like glass, falling away and leaving nothing behind but an awful vacuum. Eventually, the screams died away. The fire seemed to burn forever. In 17 years, I've witnessed every kind of murder. Stabbed, speared, shot, strangled, manually and by garrote, poisoned, bludgeoned, mostly stabbed. I have a reel of these images looping constantly through my head. For me, personally, the worst is by fire. Someone slips into your cell, fills your light bulb with gasoline or lighter fluid, and when you come in and yank your light cord, a vaporous, explosive fireball fills your cell, sucking the oxygen from your lungs and melting your flesh like cheap plastic. That's when you realize that someone has jammed your door closed behind you. Yeah, the fire's the worst. The inhuman screams go on until your falling heart reaches that null point where you stop hoping that he will live and begin praying that he won't. there are things worse than death.